Yo, what is going on guys? It is Cynnnical and welcome back to another episode of the Worlds of Kingdom Hearts 3 series where I go over and discuss my ideas for possible worlds that could come in the new Kingdom Hearts installment, which is Kingdom Hearts 3. Today I'm going to be doing Toy Story. In the last episode I did The Lion King, just talking about, its return and stuff. So in today's episode I'm going to be talking about Toy Story making a possible appearance as a world in Kingdom Hearts 3. The way I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to go over world history / film events. The world history is basically if, the world has previously appeared in a Kingdom Hearts game, then I'll go over the events that have already happened in that world. The film events are basically, what happens in the film, what's the story of that film. Secondly, I'm going to be going over plot / world story. Basically, this is going to be talking about Sora's involvement with that world to tie in with the story of that film. Basically, Xehanort's involvement with it, Sora's involvement with the world, what's going to happen with the Heartless or whatever, etc. Just stuff like that. Thirdly, I'm going to be talking about exploration, so the different areas, the scenery of the world, etc, etc. And finally, I'll be talking about the Keyblade that corresponds with that world. I hope you guys are enjoying this series, and without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, so many of you guys should know Toy Story by now. I mean, Toy Story is one of the most popular and one of the greatest Disney films of all time. Of course, it is Disney Pixar, which is still a part of Disney. It's just like a different line of work in animation studio as far as that goes. One thing to do note is that Square Enix don't actually have the rights to Pixar at the moment. So basically this means that they don't actually have the whole rights to make Toy Story World, and this is probably why Toy Story or any other Pixar films actually haven't made an appearance in a Kingdom Hearts game before. So, possibly Square Enix might be trying to get the rights to Pixar and stuff so that they can feature Toy Story as an actual world, or some of the other Pixar films as worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3. So that's one thing to note. But anyway, you guys should know Toy Story by now. It's a very old film, and of course Toy Story 3 came out sort of recently, a couple of years back. But if Toy Story were to appear as an actual world in Kingdom Hearts, it would definitely take the story arc of Toy Story 1. Now, Toy Story 1 is, of course, the very first Toy Story, obviously, and it follows the story of Woody, which is a pull-string cowboy doll, who is the leader of the group of toys, which is owned by Andy, which is the toy's owner, and it follows the relationship between Woody and, of course, Buzz Lightyear, who is a new toy that Andy gets for his birthday. Now, basically, Buzz believes himself to be a real space ranger. Of course, he reckons he's on a mission to return to his home planet and stuff. And of course, throughout the movie, Woody tries to convince him that he is a toy and stuff like that. So as far as that's really the world story and stuff like that. The film event, basically, Andy starts favoring Buzz and stuff. Woody doesn't like it. It's just basically about Buzz Lightyear figuring out who he actually is. He's a toy, he's not some sort of space ranger, and the fact of him actually fitting in with all of the other toys. Okay, so for the plot and the world story, Sora's involvement with the events of Kingdom Hearts 3 and, Toy Story being a world, basically I think that pretty much Sora and Donald and Goofy would come into the world, and of course they'd be a bit confused and stuff, and I think that they would try help Woody. I believe that they would try help Woody to convince Buzz that he is a toy. Of course, Sora and stuff would be convinced that they're in some sort of world where things are toys and all that. And one cool thing to note would be that, similar to, of course, like Atlantica or Halloween Town, Sora and Donald and Goofy, they look different. Of course, in Atlantica, Sora's a mermaid and Donald's like an octopus or something. In Halloween Town, the group have Halloween costumes. So I believe that if Toy Story actually became a world in Kingdom Hearts, Sora, Donald, and Goofy, they'd have sort of like a toy outfit to make them look maybe plastic looking, or just to make them look like they're toys. I think that'd be really, really cool. Maybe they could use the actual Kingdom Hearts action figures to help them decide, what they'd look like in a Toy Story world. But getting back to the plot, basically I think Sora and Donald and Goofy, basically they would, you know, Woody would ask of them to help convince this new toy Buzz, blah blah blah, that he is an actual toy, he's not a real space ranger and stuff like that. Of course, he would he'd help Buzz and Woody return to the the moving truck right at the end, because basically in the movie what happens is they're somewhere down the road or something like that, from what I remember, it's been a while, and they're like on Andy's RC car and stuff, and you know, Andy's leaving to go to the new house in the shifting truck, and basically they only just make it back onto the shifting truck. So the event of, you know, that with, you know, the RC car and stuff, maybe Woody and Buzz are controlling the RC car, and pretty much Sora, Donald and Goofy have to fend off like Heartlesses and stuff like that, you know, while they're driving the RC car. I think what would be really really cool though is the Heartlesses and the enemies of the Toy Story world. Basically, you know, we've seen all sorts of different Heartlesses that really fit into the theme of each world, and I think toy Heartlesses would be a really really cool idea. Maybe like wooden soldier Heartlesses, you know, those little wooden soldier toys and stuff like that, or little mini plane model Heartlesses or something like that, just like little toy Heartlesses, like little toy snake Heartless. Just something cool. I reckon they could be like really creative as far as the Heartless design goes on here. Of course, the boss for this world would be Zurg. I think it's Zurg or Zurk, or whatever. Maybe he has control over some dark abilities that, of course, Xehanort sort of talked to him about. Not really too sure what Xehanort would want with the Toy Story world. Sort of hard to think, of course, you know, Toy Story toys and all that and stuff like that. And that's basically the plot and world story. It's the best I can think of. Another thing to note and a bit of trivia is Toy Story has actually, well, it was going to actually appear in Kingdom Hearts once, and that was in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Basically, both Woody and Buzz were planned to be summons, exclusive summons for the Final Mix version of Kingdom Hearts 2. There is actually untextured models of them online. You can actually view them. It's actually in the removed content of Kingdom Hearts 2, but they were removed because of the whole rights issue, and of course, you know, Square Enix not owning the actual rights to the Pixar, you know, movies and stuff. So that's basically why they had to remove the summons. But however, that is the plot and the world story. Okay, so for exploration in the world, of course, there is a lot they could do with the whole exploration, because of the fact that, you know, their toys and all that, Sora would be minimized down to a very minuscule size. Of course, they'd be toy-sized to fit in with all the characters for the Toy Story world, you know, like Rex and Woody, Buzz, etc., etc. So, as far as the exploration, the scenery, and the different areas for the world, there's a lot they could do. First of all, of course, there's Andy's house and there's, you know, Andy's room. The main area of this world would probably be Andy's room. You'd first appear in Andy's room. Maybe you would appear as a new toy or something. You know, Andy got the new Sora toy or something. I don't know, but somewhere you'd probably appear in a box in Andy's room. That's pretty much the first basis of the Toy Story world. There'd probably be a few different areas inside Andy's house. For instance, maybe the living room, the kitchen. There'd most likely be outside the house, around the grassed area. A second area would be Pizza Planet. Of course, you know, in the film, both Buzz and Woody go to Pizza Planet. Actually, you know, Andy decides to take, he can only take one toy, and he decides to take Buzz, and then, you know, Woody's all angry about this and stuff, and then maybe at some stage Woody's like, oh hey Sora, yo, why don't you help me get Buzz, blah blah blah, or something like that. So you'd have to go with Woody to go to Pizza Planet or something like that. And there would probably be like a couple of areas in Pizza Planet, for instance, you know, the claw machine, and maybe like a few other video game machines and stuff that you could explore. And then of course there would be Sid's house. So, you know, if you guys don't know, both Woody and Buzz, they get captured by Sid, which is this other kid, and basically he owns a whole bunch of like nightmarish looking toy creations. And actually the event of the RC car, like I was mentioning before, happens after they escape from Sid's house. So obviously, you know, both Buzz Lightyear and Woody get captured by Sid, and then maybe the rest of the toys back at Andy's house report in, and basically Sora, Donald, and Goofy are asked from the other toys to go rescue Buzz and Woody from Sid's house, and then from there, of course, the whole RC thing happens and all that, and it might be like a few bosses or something. But as far as the exploration goes, I mean, there's quite a lot they could do. I think it'd be a really unique and really cool world, because you'd be like a little toy, and there'd be like life-size objects, like chairs would be like massive structures, and TVs would be massive structures. I think it'd just be an awesome freaking world, and like I mentioned before, the heartless ideas and creations for the world would definitely be really cool. But as far as, you know, exploration goes, it'd definitely be the different areas inside Sid's house, Andy's house, and then of course Pizza freaking Planet. But that's as much as I have for the exploration. So as far as the Keyblade for this world, you know, the Keyblade that you receive for completing the world's story, I think they could make a really cool and creative design for the Keyblade. Of course, the Keyblade would look like a sort of toy, and I had an idea. I think it'd be a really cool idea if the Keyblade were made out of like Lego blocks. I think that'd be so freaking awesome. But of course, you know, that would mean that they'd have to get a whole bunch of different rights to be able to use Lego blocks or something. And of course, I don't think Lego blocks are actually ever shown in Toy Story, so it probably wouldn't make sense. But, you know, Lego blocks are toys. They're very well known toys. I think it'd be awesome to have like a Keyblade made out of Lego blocks. But some sort of toy plasticky looking Keyblade would be really cool to correspond with the whole Toy Story world. I thought of the name possibly Minuscule Creation. Of course, minuscule is like smallish and stuff. And creation, you know, toys are creations and something like that. Something along the lines of that. But however, guys, that is it. That is the Worlds of Kingdom Hearts 3 Toy Story. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Share the love by liking this video. And of course, follow me on Twitter for more news and updates. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Peace.